Welcome to Winning the Rig Game. As always, this is not investing advice. This is just a way to share my ideas and thoughts about the market. Welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little different from previous ones. A lot of times I'm focused on Tesla or Lithium Americas, but this one is for future opportunities. These companies aren't public right now, so we can invest, not in the public markets at least, but I wanted to just talk about them and put them on everyone's radar, let you know what I'm looking at and monitoring for the future. This is going to be a multi-part video. The first video, I'm going to just talk briefly about the companies. The first company is pretty obvious. Nothing new. Everyone's heard of it. Is SpaceX. Another Elon Musk company. Why? Well, plain and simple, he's able to land rockets, and that makes it a completely different situation. He started landing rockets, I think it was 2016 or 2015 for the first time. Since then, he's captured, or SpaceX has captured, about 65% of the commercial launch market. He's captured that in a relatively short amount of time. So I'm going to come back to that one because we won't be able to invest in that one for a while. Elon's focused on going to Mars and colonizing Mars. Great. But a company that's within SpaceX, Starlink. Elon's talked about bringing that public relatively soon, maybe in 2 or 3 years. Starlink is a space-based internet service provider. Basically, it's small satellites that connect the world and provides internet. Elon's donated a whole bunch of receivers to Ukraine. He's also gotten some crap about charging, but the truth is it's a startup company. I'm not going to get into whether he should or should not make money on providing that service to the Ukrainians. He's also donating services to people in Iran. That's one thing about this company. It has potential to deliver internet globally. Now, we don't know what China and some other countries are going to think about that. How they stop them. I don't think they're going to be able to. They might be able to prevent the people from having the satellite dishes, the receivers, but the truth is they're not going to be able to stop these satellites. The Russians have been trying to hack Starlink since he's provided a service in Ukraine, and really without any major success. It's really just served as a tool to help Starlink. The Russians have very good hackers, and if they couldn't bring down the Starlink internet service, nothing will. The Russians also talked about blowing the satellites out of the sky. Yeah, good luck. Right now there's over 2,000 satellites, and they're small. Elon can launch a lot more than the Russians can shoot down. They'd be bankrupt in no time, even if they tried. One of the things with SpaceX, they're going to be having Starship, and we should be seeing a launch relatively soon. They're going to be sending ships to the moon for a lunar base and eventually colonize Mars. The speeds are pretty good right now. This is a game changer for a lot of people in rural areas, and originally that's what it was meant for. But now I think you're going to start seeing it in a lot more places than just rural areas. This is very bad news for companies like Hughes or Viasat and some of the others. Okay, so Starlink is definitely one to watch. SpaceX, we'll come back to that one, and they're going to have other opportunities. The next company, Anduril, I can never pronounce the name of it, Anduril Industries. This is a company that was started by Palmer Luckey. He was the wonder kid, if you want to call him that, a young guy that started Oculus Rift and sold it to Facebook. He was subsequently fired by Facebook for donating to a political campaign that Facebook didn't like. He took his money and left and started Anduril. This has some relation with Peter Thiel. I believe it receives funding from the Founders Venture Capital, which is a Peter Thiel investment fund. And like Palantir, Anduril is something from Lord of the Rings. It's basically the sword of somebody, and so it keeps up with the Peter Thiel Lord of the Rings stuff. I am a big fan of Palmer Luckey. He is probably the most similar to Elon Musk in a lot of ways. I think he's really fascinating, and he's starting a defense company, which in a way SpaceX is also a defense company, and he's not doing the traditional contracts with the government. He's basically building things on spec and then seeing if the government's interested. There's some very interesting things, and he's definitely taking a new approach. Artificial intelligence and the Lattice system, Ghost drone, and border security. These are all very important things and aspects, and eventually we could see this company come public. The Ukrainian war has definitely changed how we're going to fight wars in the future. Drones have been a huge part. So Anduril has a number of products that are anti-drone and security-based defense products. I really like this company. I think it's got a lot of potential. The next company is similar. This one is Epirus. This is a Joe Lonsdale company. I'm not sure who else is investing or running this company, but this is using anti-drone technology to shoot down or take down drones. I believe using microwave and things like that. But it's very interesting. And Joe Lonsdale was also a co-founder or worked with Palantir. So there's another Peter Thiel connection. Okay, we're going to sort of move now from space to defense to artificial intelligence. The next company is DeepMind. DeepMind is owned by Google. Unfortunately, it's owned by Google. Well, it's a blessing and a curse. Let's put it that way. Google gives DeepMind deep pockets to do some amazing things. DeepMind was an independent company and was bought by Google, which definitely allowed them to do more creative things or do things that they probably wouldn't have been able to do on their own. And they've done some amazing things. Some of the things you might be familiar with is computer or system that learned to play different games. It learned to play Go, which is one of the most complex games ever invented, StarCraft, or some other video games that are strategy based. And then recently, last year, they started folding proteins at a very high degree of accuracy. This is going to be incredible for future medicine and drug development. The things that artificial intelligence is going to be able to do is like nothing else. It's going to be more impactful than the internet was. So that's the first AI company. I wouldn't invest in that unless it was spun off by Google as a private company. Who knows if it ever will be, but I like to keep an eye on them to see what are the capabilities and possibilities for artificial intelligence. The next company is Cerebras Systems. This is very similar to the chip or the system Project Dojo that Tesla is building. It's a wafer scale chip, system on a chip, basically a platter, and they sell servers, sort of mini mainframes for artificial intelligence. This company is the only hope for companies like Ford, GM, Toyota. If they want to compete with Project Dojo, they're going to be buying something like this. That's their only chance. If not, it's going to be something like NVIDIA, and have an NVIDIA cluster. Cerebras is very interesting, and they're selling stuff to universities, researchers, Department of Energy, and same thing. The founder, just like the company DeepMind, is amazing. So a lot of times I'm impressed by the people that start the company as much as the company itself. This is just sort of a primer. I'm going to take a deeper dive into each of these companies in follow-up videos. I hope you like it. Like, hit the bell, subscribe, and leave a comment. Who knows when these companies are going to go public. This is just something interesting, a little different from my usual Tesla videos or Lithium America videos. Eventually, I'm going to have a special guest on to talk about lithium and mining, but not just yet. That's it for now, and I hope you like these companies and find these upcoming videos interesting. Thanks very much, and see you soon. Bye.